As schools resume despite rise in coronavirus infections, more concerns have been raised about how schools are complying with safety protocol and coping with the new reality. Now, joining me to discuss this is an educationist and principal of Caleb British International School, Oluwatoyin Ebo. Good to have you join us.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
So, that cluster you saw at that NIMSI Center, it runs across the country. It's not just in Bayelsa State. That is the reason people are worried about school resumption, because some of these people have their wards in school. So imagine that kind of cluster. If anybody contracts the virus, they're going to take it home to their family members. So what are schools doing to ensure that children are protected within the four walls of the school?
I believe that every state should take a cue from Lagos State especially, because the Ministry of Education has ensured that every staff in our schools are certified, trained virtually on how to ensure that we keep up with the safety measures in our schools. I think every parastatal should take a leaf from what is going on in the schools, because the adults are actually the ones that are flaunting these instructions. Our school, as a case study, is doing a lot to ensure that we keep our children safe by ensuring that they wear their mask at all times, keep up with the social distancing. We have created a lot of classrooms, and we also have students online. And virtual, you have the option for physical schooling, you have option for virtual schooling. So I feel that there is no way that our own students can infect an adult at home, because we have taken every necessary precaution in our school.
But that's for your school, and we can't say the same for every school. There are schools in rural areas where probably the supervisors and those who monitor and evaluate the preparedness of schools have not even gotten to. So the question, and then we also know that classes are now staggered. For example, the senior classes will come later in the evening, and the junior classes will come in the morning. And then there is also the mental health of teachers. So what are you doing to ensure that teachers are not exhausted?
Well, what we've done is we're running a hybrid system right now. So we have actually reduced the number of periods. So we have the morning section and the afternoon section. So we have breaks, and we also give our teachers every support needed professionally for their mental well-being. And our teachers are, IT trained. And we were actually we were on Microsoft Teams even before COVID-19. So it's actually nothing new to us. It's not because of COVID-19 that we're going the extra mile. We've always gone the extra mile in providing different platforms for education. So our teachers are doing great. And part of I believe that this period, everybody has to be on top of their toes to ensure that we cope with the situation. And we're also training our children that part of the 21st century challenges is to be able to multitask and be involved in every situation you find yourself in.
So there is the aspect of trying to ensure that these children actually stick with the COVID-19 protocols, which is very difficult, especially for those in primary school. That interaction is part of learning, and that also has been taken out. So what has been done to replace that, where children cannot touch each other, cannot hug each other? Some schools have even taken the assembly out of it so that you don't have that contact. What can be done to replace that element of play and interaction without necessarily also breaking the protocols?
Well, what we've adopted in our own school is classroom assembly, and we also have assembly online, so as to cover up for that missing link. We also address our children virtually and in groups, so that we're not addressing a cluster, a large group. And I believe that we will overcome COVID-19 as long as we follow the necessary protocols. We have to ensure that we educate our children the children should know that they have to adapt to the situation. And many children are asymptomatic. So, but they have to understand, it's also a show of love for you to wear your mask. It's also a show of love for you to keep to social distancing. Because if you love your parents, if you love your loved ones, you want to keep them safe. So I think we should, like I said, the schools are doing great, and we should encourage other parastatals to follow suit. I believe the government should do more to encourage other parastatals. They should enforce the way they have encouraged schools. Other parastatals too should be encouraged to follow suit, and will do better as a country.
We will overcome COVID-19, like you said, but one only hopes that we overcome the challenge it poses to the education sector. Principal of Caleb British International School and Educationist Oluwatoyin Ebo. Good to have you, Dr. Ross.
Thank you very much. God bless you.